Welcome back to the MLG GameOn Invitational. We're about to start the winner's match of our group stage, the third set today from Group C. This will be between Vibe and Minigun, both players of the team route. What a game.
What a game indeed. And the starting map for this series is apparently gonna be Frost. Again, not the best map for Stormhost play, perhaps. So we'll see what Vive chooses to do. A very impressive style. Maybe he revealed his card against Desro. So, pros and cons here. Minigun coming off of a PVT. So he's not going to be warmed up. But that is a minor issue, considering that Vive already played a CVP and Minigun's going to have that information at hand. So...
And let's be honest, does Minigun need that? Does he even need to be warmed up? Does he need that information?
Probably not.
Minigun is pretty good.
Yeah.
And
So
he
is
gets
Vibe,
to
though.
play, yeah, but he gets to play in his comfort zone here too. I'm sure he's played Vibe before.
I mean, I'm sure this is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Minigun has played Vive as many times as Vive has played Minigun.
Maybe not, though. Maybe not. What if Vibe has played Minigun on a barcode? So Vibe has played Minigun so many times, but Minigun never knew that he was playing against Vibe.
In that particular case, then they would have still played this exact same amount of
But they
times
wouldn't
as
know
each
it,
other.
you know?
Right.
What if Minigun is actually like, oh my god. Sorry, Rob from production.
You're just going to say Rob from production, not even explain it. Just
Rob from production, you know?
Rob
What
from
I
production.
mean, does anything else really need to be said? Do you need to
At
say
this
anything
point-
besides Rob from production?
At this point, probably not. We're going back into the games.
The games!
Games! And we're here on Frost already. This is going to be cross positions this time around. We have in the bottom left-hand side of the map,
Chad,
spawning
straight out of Compton.
straight out of Compton Jones. What a player.
What a player. And in the top right, we have Root Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes, also known as Vive, of course. Both players playing with beautiful decals.
Very nice. I wonder who made that. What is the Root thing supposed to be?
It's a root creature.
The Root creature.
Yep.
Have you ever thought about hiring like a story guy to like draw up some lore and stuff for the whole Root everything?
That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, to have like a backstory for like where the Root creatures came from and all that.
And why they play games.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. I'm sure it would make a lot of sense as off to why a root creature would engage in nerdy activities.
I'm
and
sure you can
become-
make it make sense. That's the whole point of a story writer.
Yeah, you're completely right. Maybe I'll hire you. I'll do the drawings. You can do the story.
I'll get right on that.
Okay.
Chad opening with a pretty, I want to say archaic opener, but I guess on this map you would see it more often than on other maps. This kind of Forge Fast Expand.
This is a Nexus first.
Nexus
without
First
a doubt.
Expand, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
actually-
people still do it sometimes. If they're gonna do it, it's gonna be on a map like this, huh?
I mean, a lot of people still do it a lot of the time. It's a pretty common opener still. I would say not. I mean, it used to be
Versus
the bread and butter.
Gateway, I feel like it's like 80-20.
Maybe 70-30, 80.
Maybe like 75-25.
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever you want. Either way, it's still a common opener, even if it was 20% of the time that they
I don't
do it.
think 20% is very common.
You don't think 20% constitutes a common opener? I mean, I suppose if you just see all gateway first builds as a single opener, as opposed to I like to think there's different types of openers that come along with gateway first. It could be a gasless gateway, it could be a one gas gateway, it could be a two gas gateways, and they all play very differently.
Sure.
And same goes for the expansion. It could be a Forge Fast Expand, or it could be a Nexus First. Nexus First being the most common of the two. The Circ player can usually tell what the build that the Protoss player is going for, just judging by the scout timing of the probe. However, on this map, it's a little bit harder because you don't know exactly where your opponents spawned.
So here we have Chad going for pretty greedy. Well, not greedy, but you know, the Nexus First opener. It looks like Vibe went for the Hatch First opener too, right?
Yeah, it looks that way.
Both
Just
queens
gasless.
started at the same time, gasless, yeah.
Mhm.
So both players playing a pretty, at least their openers are both pretty economically based. We are in far positions.
Yep. Vibe going to take a third right away.
Schlonger taking that quick third. Minigun opening with a pretty standard 1 gate or 3 gates? Just a 1 gate opener with 2 gases behind it, so we'll probably expect to see, I guess, probably a Stargate on this map. It's pretty common.
Stargates are great on this map. Phoenix are great.
Covers a lot of ground, has a lot of mobility.
Yeah. Fast units are always going to be better on the larger the map is.
Definitely.
So that's why we saw, for example, Vive going for Mutas last game.
Yep.
And we see that it is indeed a Stargate opener.
Wow, nice job, Destiny.
Nice job, Destiny. You guessed one of the 2 things that it could have been.
It could have been Mass Gateway. The Huck, a la Huck.
Sure.
Could have been a robotics facility.
Yep.
Could have been in Twilight Council.
Okay.
So there's at least 5 options there.
Okay. I counted 4. Very unlikely options.
But you see, everyone can play differently. Like the 3 gas versus the 4 gas playing stock rolling can play very differently. So I like to count that as 2 separate builds.
Yeah, and there's also the fact that, in you or Maximus Black's level of play, I would expect that players are not used to playing the map as much. So, they do whatever opener they're comfortable with.
Is that how that works?
I think it is. And
well, we've already seen that we're deviating because Minigun hasn't all-in yet. And it is also, he's got more than 26 probes. So I don't think that we're quite at Maximus Black's level to play in this game.
Oh,
so.
absolutely not. No, this is high level. And we have Vive also scouting the Phoenix and the extra 2 gases, so he's not going to be concerned with any all-ins for now. Dropping a Spore and droning up, as he should be doing. Minigun going for a Void Ray, indicative of a third, which he is now going to be taking. And that Void Ray is going to keep him pretty safe for the most part, almost against anything. And this is what we were talking about in Desro's game as well, in the first game. That Void Ray is going to allow Minigun to fend off any number of roaches for quite a while.
Definitely.
So the Phoenix just acting as a scout for the time being. Also telling Vive, hey, if you want to go mute it, by the way, I have a Stargate, I have a Phoenix out. You don't know how many Phoenix there are, and the Phoenix, actually, the one single Phoenix, I actually prefer 2 Phoenix. And I know that this is really uncommon. Most of the time, Protoss players will go for 4 or 5 Phoenix, and that's fine. That's all great. But just going for 1 or 2 Phoenix, a lot of the time, like we see in this game, will force the Zerg to make some Spore Crawlers. And this is already a big advantage for Minigun, because his Void Ray is not going to be really aggressive. He just wants to expand. He wants a quick third. But just making this Phoenix not only gives him control of the overlords that might be scattered around his base, but also it potentially makes the Zerg build that static defense that they don't necessarily want to make, especially. So if the Protoss had just gone for Void Rays right off the bat, Vibe would probably not be dropping those.
Definitely. And that's another important thing to keep in mind too, because a lot of players don't realize that. There's a lot of different ways to hurt yourself in this game. You like the most obvious way people think of harass is, oh, like he sent units and he killed stuff of mine, like he harassed me. But faking pressure, making one of a kind of unit that requires a certain response and forcing a huge response to your opponent, those are all forms of harassment. Yeah. And any time where you have to make, 3 Stargates altogether coming up from Minigun, 1 producing and 2 more coming up. Anytime you force a response out of your opponent that he otherwise wouldn't have wanted to make, right? Because if Vibe had perfect information, you don't want to make 1 Spore for each base for a Phoenix. So that kind of stuff is really powerful, really good. And, on the other hand, there's also reasons why you might play a game and you harass your opponent so much and you still lose, and you're wondering, like, how could I have possibly lost? There are games where you can kind of harass yourself if you fall behind on your own macro, if you lay it on your own buildings, if you end up getting really sloppy at your own base because you're trying to harass your opponent, you also throw yourself back. So, good bit of psychology there to only make the 1 Phoenix for Minigun.
Yeah, and the reason why I was saying I like 2 Phoenix is because 2 Phoenix can pick off drones from the gas and potentially force an extra Spore Crawler per base. So it's all little things, but I'm pretty sure Chad is probably happy with this. This attack by Vibe is really dangerous. Minigun already with 4 shields and 3 Void Rays. I don't think the Vibe is going to be able to break Minigun here. And if he's not, this Hydras are going to have a tough time retreating. Hydras being the slow units that they
This kind of attack might be okay on a smaller-ish map, maybe, but the distance is so large.
Vibe really committing to this thing.
Yeah. Oh, lots of links coming up. No upgrades.
Vibe a little bit of position, actually. Or Chat a little bit of position, but the Nexus kind of goes down.
Yeah. Oh, the Time Warp goes down. Good force fields. Great force fields.
Yeah, Hydras are very expensive too.
Yeah, this map is just so large that to make that journey across the map, takes so much time. Chad has so much time to prepare. And Chad, to Chad's credit, Chad has been chrono boosting out these Void Rays too. He's been very big on getting the defense on his third setup with that Phoenix.
Yeah.
With the Phoenix flying around, scouting vibe and everything, making sure that he's ready for any kind of pressure like this.
Yeah, and most I think what Vibe was expecting here was similar to what he did in Game 1 against Desro, just catching Minigun off guard for perhaps transition into Colossi and right before the Colossus popped out.
Yep.
But Minigun was going for Void Rays, unfortunately for him.
Definitely.
So he's going to have plenty here.
Yeah, as much as Vibe would like to do more damage here on the streets of Compton, Chad has seen stuff like this.
Yeah, he's seen it all.
He's seen it all. Chad actually, with 24 probes at that base, he actually overprobed that base just to show Vibe how insignificant that pressure was.
Absolutely. Vibe going for the right response, in my opinion. He added a few more extra queens, and he's going for the Infestor Energy upgrade. I think that's the best response to Void Race, except perhaps the Hydras are a little bit of... I don't really like Hydras against Void Race.
Yeah, and he's already lost so much. He lost a lot in that attack. The Lings aren't as big a deal as the Hydras, but just, man, he should have killed both those Phoenix. Not paying attention at the very start there when the Phoenix were flying over, but losing Lings is whatever, but in CVP it all comes down to gas control, really. Like, all of your important units are made out of gas. It was nice that I think Vibe killed 3 sentries on the ground there, but compared to the amount of Hydras that he lost, it just wasn't anywhere close to being worth it for these attacks. And now Chad with High Templar too, I mean...
Yeah, Storm not quite done, but Vibe doesn't know that. And even if it wasn't, I probably wouldn't want to push into that many Void Rays.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't really like the Hydras here. But again, Vibe a very aggressive player. So it's not surprising to see that he has this Hydras out on the map. But I personally prefer to just go for Queens and Infestors. That's going to be the best response to Void Rays, in my opinion. Void Rays are pretty bad against Queens. Or Queens are rather the best anti-air defense that Cirque has. Corruptors are pretty bad for the most part, unless you're dealing with carriers or tempests.
Yep, and you can see Chad has these bases very well scouted. He's definitely looking for that Spire transition. It doesn't look like it's coming. Chad also with a pylon up outside the 4th and a Warp Prism headed to the 3rd, and the attack swinging around to the other 3rd.
Yeah, this is gonna get ugly really soon.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on for Chad here, man. We're gonna have Warp Prism harass at the 3rd or the main even. Yeah. And then this 4th or 5th is going down. I don't even know what it would be order of the day. Like I said, it would be the 4th. And then Chad swinging around to attack this 5th at the same time. Wow, Chad with more supply than Vibe and everything.
Yeah, picks off that base. That's huge. No hope for this one either. Vibe has a strong unit composition. Chad definitely doesn't want to move in there. But
yep, but Chad, the unit composition doesn't even matter right now. Chad's just all over the place, just with zealots everywhere. Chad's not going to be fighting into that unit composition. Vibe just kind of running around in circles here, trying to get everything together.
Yeah. Ultras are an okay idea here. Voiders are extremely good against Ultra, but if you have enough Queen support and perhaps add on Vipers later on, Blinding Cloud with Fungal can go a long ways to destroy any ground army composition, and again, Queens are probably the best and most effective way to deal with Void Rays. So I don't mind what Vibe is heading towards, but Minigun just playing a fantastic game.
Definitely. Still has that pylon on here unchecked. He was able to take out the Warp Prism, which was good. Very big attack here from Vibe. Lots of gas invested into these Infestors here.
Yeah, Infested turns are not quite as good as they once were.
Oh, the feedback's going down. Good storm dropped. 3 Archons.
There's no hope for Vibe if he engages here.
Yeah, there's just no way with the 3 Archons here, even with the Queens.
But Vibe feels committed. All the Queens are out on the
all
map.
the Queens already walked this far. There's just no way. There's no possible way. With 3 Archons and all these Zealots and the High Templar, there's no possible way.
It is a really clumpy unit composition, but
Chad's got those
so
feedbacks though, man, on a trigger finger.
Yeah, not the greatest fungals here. Not enough energy for chain fungling the entire army for long enough, I don't think. So
Vibe may be deciding it's probably time to pull back. Minigun with that Observer over the army though, maybe doesn't even care. Yeah, we'll probably just advance into it and try to kill everything.
Oh, great
nice
fungal.
Force fields. Good fungals, but I think the force fields might cut off any additional fungals.
well, there's the Ultras.
Yep,
They're gonna have something to say about that, but it's not gonna be enough, I don't think.
Nope, feedback's going down on the Infestors, smartly
Yes.
targeting the Infestors, not wasting any feedbacks on the Queens. Well, until the Infestors are
Vibe
dead.
might have to tap out here.
Yeah. What was that? Was there a cat here?
No, someone yelled somewhere. Not even in the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we in Compton?
I guess we are.
Lings come in here, lots of damage done to the probes here. That was a good few probe pickoffs. But man, Minigun is all over the place. We've got harasses going on at the third. Surprised not to see a warp in a Dark Oh, okay, the Dark Trine's almost done. Minigun has complete control of this game right
Yeah,
now.
completely on top of it, doubling his defense supply.
Yeah, even a shield upgrade so that it would help the Void Race too instead of the traditional armor upgrade.
Yeah, very nice play by Chad.
Vibe kind of trying to run around with some links here, maybe to try to do some kind of damage, but Chad's not having any of that. Chad moving up to destroy this fourth. Even with the Ling upgrades being 2-2, a couple Dark Templar morphed in. There are 2 attack upgrades on the Zealots, which effectively nullify the Carapace on the Lings.
Yeah, great positioning, nice SimCity as well to help with those. And yeah, Chad moving into a very beat down third of 5. There's barely any drones there.
Yep, no real army left to defend. I don't even know what the 99 supply is in at this point.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
I bet
Probably those things across the map.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Oh, what's that button do? Oh, vision minigun. And there goes the GG. Wow. Nice game for Minigun.
Really clean game for Minigun indeed. I think Vive is going to be a lot more hesitant to...
Try any of the shenaniganery.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not going to work against Chad unless he perhaps commits to an all-in. Because what Vive did was kind of like a pressure build.
Yeah.
Right? Minigun always has builds that account for that sort of thing. He's a very safe player. He likes the macro game. But at the same time, he tries to be as greedy as possible.
Definitely.
So I think the worst kind of thing that you can do against Minigun is, just throw a few units at him and see if he's ready for it.
And especially on this map, in those positions, that's a long walk.
Yeah.
Almost twice as much as in other maps. Maybe in other maps that could have worked, where it could have pressured with the Hydras and at least did something, picked off a couple probes, picked off a couple warp gates or pylons, whatever's at the front, but not on a map this large.
Yeah.
Just no way. It's
Yeah,
way
I think
too
that
much.
Vibe was definitely banking on Minigun being on a transition to Colossus.
Completely unprepared or something. Oh, so we're going to cut to a 90-second break for the next game, and we'll be coming up with Game 2, Minigun vs. Vibe, in the winner's match of Group C.
We're going to be there. Are you?